Ultimate Business Support. Welcome to our normal 9 a.m. coffee chats. I am just fresh off the plane last night and have completed a 32-hour flight all the way from Perth. I reckon for the rest of my life I'm going to have this perception that Perth is so far. Because for those of you that don't know, we had a in-flight medical emergency, which was obviously very unfortunate for the person that nearly died. And flight was diverted back to Kalgoorlie, after which we could not land into Adelaide because of some kind of a flight curfew into Adelaide, and therefore we went back to Perth, and they put us up in a hotel, gave us some breakfast, and we started all over again yesterday, meaning we had to be delayed again by an hour and a half. Luckily, I pushed my flight to Melbourne by 2.5 hours because I had to rebook my flight from Melbourne because I missed it altogether. Anyway, I made it safe and sound. It was a bit of an adventure, lots of little learnings along the way, and insights that will create for wonderful stories in my presentations and things like that. Lorraine says Tia lives in Perth and she doesn't like it. Yeah, it seems to be quite far. Look, I had a wonderful time there. The weather was like high 20s. I went to the beach. Some of you may have seen that on Facebook, and really just obviously did 5 events. So I'm pretty tired. Those of you that can see me on Periscope are probably looking a little bit tired. By the way, guys, we're broadcasting this on Periscope, and I've got a few of you, the regulars, joined from there at the moment, and there's lots of you through here. So I'm just trusting you can hear me and see just our little backdrop. So we go for half an hour this morning. We'll start off with some tips around social media and sometimes specifically about using the group. Then we go into some open discussion. I mean, really, you run the show. Ask any questions business related, what you're curious about. Pick my brain, pick each other's brains, because I'm happy for you guys. Obviously, once the question's been posed, I will read out all the answers from the question box, or whoever has joined from Periscope, they can put in little answers there, and we can brainstorm up something for you. So it's really up to you what you want to discuss. If no one's putting their hand up, I tend to sort of go off on a tangent, and usually it's the right tangent. I never come prepared, by the way. I sometimes think about it for 5 minutes before I get on this call, but usually, I can always pick out a business topic from the top of my brain and go, okay, well, this is probably the right thing that's going to serve the audience today. By the way, did you know, this just popped into my head, which is really interesting, the things that have been happening the last few days, obviously with the travel. But did you know that apparently last night or tonight, I think 28th, 28th was yesterday, yes, there was a full solar lunar eclipse, and apparently the energy that was happening over the last sort of 7 to 10 days leading up to it and all that, what made a lot of things go haywire and or fast track some things. So that was really interesting. It was being posted on Facebook quite a bit. So I thought, oh, this must be happening because we're right in the middle of it. Lucy says on Periscope, yes, wonderful. All right, so use of the group, 5 minutes on that. We finish off on events. What's happening? I'm halfway through this week's events. I'm off to Sydney this afternoon, and then Adelaide again later in the week, which means that the hi Elaine. Elaine's for the first time on Periscope, and Elaine is my wonderful, author of Lifestyle in Your Golden Years. A Healthy Lifestyle in Your Golden Years. And it's great to see her. I actually taught her how to use Periscope when I was in Perth. Okay, so there's Shimmy, I think, Power and Posture. As her little nickname. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say. Help! What was I going to say? I was going to start off on social media. People got me distracted. All right, I'll pick something else. It doesn't matter. Can you do a short video on how to use Periscope? Maybe, yes. I'm just trying to think logistically how I would be able to do a short video on how to use it, because you have to have your phone in order to use Periscope. You can only use it from obviously a mobile device. Something that popped on top of your head, she says. I will need to use my other camera and then be holding my handheld device to do a video on how to use Periscope. So I can organize that, but definitely not in the next 2 weeks, because I've got lots of other events to do, and this half an hour is really squeezing in, guys. I haven't really even done myself up. For those of you that can see me on Periscope, I'm just recycled makeup from yesterday, by the way. The hair's actually not too bad, but I haven't brushed it. And I'm just gonna do all that after this. I'm just kind of stopped and Christine goes, I can't believe you're here. That is what I call commitment, Christine. I'm very committed. I'm very committed when I promise that I'll do something, and you very rarely have me ever cancel. Okay, so that's actually what I want to talk about. See, I knew it was going to pop up. So canceling events. That obviously happened with Adelaide. Okay, so Adelaide, I was meant to be hosting my author introductory event on Sunday 9 to 1. And I was flying in from Perth, obviously, all thinking I was going to get to Adelaide by 9 p.m. the night before to host my 9 a.m. event. And obviously everything changed because of the circumstance that can't be avoided. And therefore we had 25 people that we had to reschedule and move across. Now, luckily, I put my thinking hat on. My husband was on the website trying to see what flights I can come in on, and it was funny because there was no flights at all. So then we tried to brainstorm how to get me home as quickly as possible, and then there was no way because there was $1,500 flights. And then I was thinking, well, why don't I just go to Sydney directly? Why don't I come home? I'll just go to Sydney and come back on my Tuesday night flight back home. But no, that was a no-go. So what I was and sorry if you can hear a lot of background noise, like drilling and lots of machinery. It's because I'll show people on Periscope. We have our, the concrete stuff. Hang on, the camera's a bit blurry here. Let me clean it. The concrete people, I don't know what they're doing. The pool is being built, and there's the tradies. I'm just showing people on Periscope how the tradies are putting in some wood stuff, and I don't know. They're doing stuff. They're all naked as well, and they're very nice to look at, by the way. So cancelling events. So I had to cancel, obviously, the Saturday event, the Sunday event, and I thought, okay, so what am I going to do now? I've missed out on all of these people that I could have spoken to, and it could have felt like, oh my God, I've lost. So then I thought, well, I'm coming back to Adelaide on the 2nd, which is this Friday, because I was doing the other event, which I do with Robert Curry, on Scale Up Your Marketing and Take Your Business to the Next Level. And so what I thought of, oh my God, I'm on a 9 p.m. flight. I'm doing that event 9 to 1. So why don't I have a 2-hour gap and do my author event from 3 till 7 and then go to the airport? And so that's what I did. So all of the people that got obviously told that we wouldn't able to run the event got rescheduled. And now 80% of them are coming on Friday. And ones that missed out because they couldn't make the Sunday can now make the Friday. So as they say, the universe always turns things back into equilibrium. So where you miss out on some or you lose money somewhere, you'll get money somewhere else. So also what happened is, obviously I paid for an extra flight to come back home because I missed the first one. But you know what happened in Perth about 6-7 hours beforehand? The people at the venue gave me $100 off my venue hire without me even asking. I said, oh, you've been lovely. And he goes, have you been here before? And I said, yeah, and I'm going to come back and use it again. And he said, okay, I'll give you a bit of a discount. He goes, I'll charge you $300 instead of $400 for the 2 days of venue hire. And I thought, oh, thank you very much. I said, I wasn't even expecting it. Another thing, guys, this is actually some tips from what's been happening the last week. Another thing that you might find valuable to know is please be extra nice to anyone that you are talking to around in customer service. Like obviously with the Jetstar people trying to deal and resolve, you can imagine there was a lot of pissed off people there and yelling and screaming and all of that. I was just observing everyone's behavior. It's very, very interesting to see people getting anxiety attacks and panic attacks and how when they haven't obviously worked on themselves, how things can be so different. So staying calm, conserves your energy, but also Stuart has been able to save us $2,500 on the extra blowing up and excavations. And you know what? Because he's been really nice to the tradies, he's been making them coffee, he's been chit-chatting to them, and he gets us so many other savings and discounts and things just by being kind and really super nice to people who are there at the front line about to serve you. So do the best you can. So I guess, bottom line is build a lot of rapport. When you have a lot of rapport, people like you, trust you, and then obviously they're either going to give you a discount, or if you're in business, they're going to end up doing business with you. So that's some of the things that have happened. So cancellation of events, I never, I don't even remember if I've ever cancelled an event. Obviously the one on Saturday was the first, on Sunday, sorry. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Obviously I cancelled the one on Sunday, but it was as people say, if it's a life or death circumstance, that's when I would cancel. So please run your events. It doesn't matter how many people turn up. You just go up and turn up for the ones that have made the effort. And I always say this, that don't underestimate the power of small groups. The small groups sometimes will reap you bigger benefits because you will make closer, more you'll be almost like a little family of people at the event that will eventuate into business. A lot of the time, my conversion percentage rate is way higher, probably triple than if I run a bigger event in front of 30 plus people. Because then I connect maybe with a handful of the ones that are sort of interacting with me, and some others I don't even hear, because then obviously not everyone's going to speak up and ask lots of questions. Whereas in a group of 6 or 7, you will get pretty much everyone talking because they feel more comfortable, and that's what happens. So I think that's a really cool one. All right, so let's open the floor. Sorry, I didn't do a social media tip, but obviously it was meant to be the way it is, and I just accept that. And let's go into some comments, questions, things like that, anything you're curious about. Obviously, I've posed a lot of areas of discussion, cancelling events, your mindset around, behavioral flexibility, customer service, building rapport. What else are you curious about going into more depth? And those of you that are on Periscope, do type up in your little question box there and send me love hearts. Make sure you send me love hearts. I love them popping up on my screen. All right, Lorraine said, you're unique and don't tell Stuart about the tradies. Lorraine, need a flow chart to keep up with what you're doing. Don't worry, the flow chart's in my head. You just keep checking Facebook. You'll know what I'm doing. And Colin said, great behavioral flexibility, Nat. Yeah, Colin, am I going to see you on Friday? I'm curious. I think you are on my list. For Adelaide, because yes. Awesome. Now you can, and also another day, what I thought how I could frame it for people when I cancelled yesterday, it's like, we'll just make a day of it. We're going to be there 9 to 1. I'm going to stop for a couple of hours for lunch, and for me to reset my brain from one kind of topic to another kind of topic, and then we continue on. So those people who, obviously are also coming in the morning, here I have another opportunity as well, because not everyone knows in the morning event then that the afternoon one is happening. So yeah. All right, listeners, I'm curious about the difference between Facebook accounts, personal, business, and others. And Christine says, which way do people contact you the most? Facebook, phone, email? Oh, okay. So I'll just tie these two questions together because they do disappear from my screen. People contact me mostly by Facebook. I would say 90% of the time, because that's where I interact with people. It's an inbox message generally. I would say 90% Facebook, 10% email. And because they get a lot faster response, I think, because I don't check my emails all that, I do check them, but Facebook is probably, I like using it better. Now, to answer Lucy's question, the difference, obviously, with your personal account, Lucy, you can be part of groups, but with your business fan page, you cannot be part of groups. It's just a standalone platform for your business. And also, what I want to make you aware of is that you have to have your business page up and you have to keep it fresh. However, don't expect to be getting a lot of interaction or people seeing your posts, because Facebook does not has changed its algorithms, and less than 5% of people will see your posts that you post on your business page. However, you must have it because it is your website on social media, and you must keep it updated. And personally, we run our Facebook advertising through the business fan page, so through Ultimate 48 Hour Author. And that is when we do get a lot of interaction, because obviously we're paying for it. So that it is only when you pay to boost your ads or to run other ads that you'll obviously get a lot of people seeing them, but still you have to have it. I prefer using a personal profile, and here's the face of the social media tipper. We were looking for that one. I use my personal account for everything. I don't. I'm not a different person in business and out of business. I'm very, very similar, or the same. Pretty much, I share everything with people that know me, and I don't mind doing that. So yeah, just that's my opinion. Some people like to split them up. If you want to split them up, then certainly make two personal profiles. One that you're going to be very, very secretive, just amongst the closest family and friends, and then a second one where you're going to share lots. But certainly in your business one, that's your personal profile, I would still encourage you that you share a bit of yourself in your life, because you want to humanize that aspect of social media, so people get, warm up to you, and it's not all just business, because after all, you're still coming from a personal profile. Cool. Collins just said, yes, he's coming to Adelaide and he wouldn't miss them. That's great. Fantastic. Awesome. What other questions and comments, or do you want to ask the group something around what it says? You're welcome. Is Periscope recorded? This is being recorded, guys. So those of you that are curious about Periscope, this is being recorded, obviously, as I'm speaking, but it will only stay live on Periscope for 24 hours. It'll actually tweet for me. So after we finish the broadcast, it'll tweet and says, Natasha just was on Periscope, and go and watch it here. Now, if I don't save it to my phone, I will lose it forever, and I don't really care. Obviously, if there's a really good topic that I like and I've liked what I've done, then I can save it to my phone. So it gives you the option of doing that. Otherwise, 24 hours, and then it's gone into never land, and it never to come back again. But obviously, it is a way to get it all to get yourself interacting with people regularly. It's meant to be something that it's kind of on the whim. You come on, you have a chat with people, and then you go off, and that's pretty much it. I think I was checking in a lot when I was in Perth, and giving people updates of what was happening. I remember Christine coming on and having a chat with me whenever I was logging on. Cool. All right. So what else can I enlighten you with this morning? What are you curious about knowing? What's maybe a challenge in your business? Are you interaction on social media? How do you, sometimes people say, I feel like I'm just posting to myself. Well, what I would say is, if you feel like you're just posting to yourself, it could be very, very early days. Sponsored Facebook posts, how do you rate them, from Christine? I love sponsored Facebook posts because I do them myself. I like them because things in my feed pop up that are relevant to me, and they do capture my attention. And I think it's kind of like there's a need being fulfilled, like having a constant promo of your page or offer. Yeah. So I gain a lot from my sponsored ads on Facebook, and people continuously share them, which is what keeps exposing my brand to other people. So from a perspective of doing them myself, I love it, because it just I don't do any other advertising. By the way, for those of you that are on the call, I did only free or very low cost networking style, obviously promotion of my business. Everything's been on building relationships and running events. So that is how I built my business for the first 4 years. In the last 12 months, we have consistently and permanently had Facebook ads happening, and that is that has significantly obviously brought in people who don't know me from a bar of soap. And it continues to build our list by 1,000 people every month because of our free ebook opt-in. So I love it, and I think it is the only paid advertising that I do, and I have now a budget for. And versus the people that have sponsored ads coming to me, yeah, they're relevant to me because obviously social media is researched in a way that you get to see ads that you are, information that you're looking out for. So whether it'll be, I always get shoes and clothes ads because I always look at all those sites, and I always kind of buy one thing or another. But then also I see all those entrepreneurial ones like opt in to get this and opt in to get that, and sometimes it's relevant. And actually, you guys, I've got a really good, a really cool one. I on the plane, I don't know where I was from. I was getting quite bored. I got my iPad and I started reading my opt-in little resource guides. And I was reading the one from Pauline Delaney, who was one of my masterminders, and she talks about mummy guilt. It must have been the time I was feeling guilty being away for so many days from the kids, and I read her ebook, and that was really cool because I've worked with her before. But secondly, I read this ebook on the 5 objections why people, what people say when they don't buy from you, and how to turn that around. And what was really cool, so tell me, who wants to know how to overcome the objection of I can't afford it, or I have to talk to my partner? Because I thought that was really good. And yes, okay, so now I'm getting you talking. All right. So that is one of the most common objections. So there's 5 most common objections. Actually, let me share them with you. I'm just going to get my iPad. I'm just going to open that thing here. And I'll share what the 5 common ones, and I'll tell you just 2 tips, because if I tell you too many, you're going to sort of not remember. So I'm just going to give you my biggest 2 insights from this ebook, and then and let you go out and try them. So this is obviously about when you're having, he likes to call it, this guy, enrollment conversations, which is, obviously someone to become a client of yours. Where's my iBooks? All right, here we go. All right. Number 1 reason is I can't afford it, or I don't have the money. Number 2 is I don't have time, or this isn't a good time. Number 3, I have to talk to my spouse, or relationship partner, business partner, whatever. Number 4, I need to think about it. Number 5, my intuition, my inner voice or guidance is telling me no. And I have heard that one before, because sometimes I attract people who are quite spiritual, and they go, my guiding light is saying no. Now, I want to share with you what where is it? Okay, there's 4 reasons why they're saying no, and those are obviously only the surface reasons. So there's a reason underneath that. So, we always know the problem's not the problem. So here's the 4 reasons why they're saying no. 1 is they don't like, know, or trust you, which we know that's a very relevant one. Number 2 is they don't believe your service will actually be able to help them. Okay, so you haven't actually illustrated the full value of your service. Number 3 is they're not committed enough to getting what they want, or they don't fully know what they want. So they're either really fuzzy in their head or not committed. So this is where they're not committed to doing the work. And number 4 is they don't believe in themselves. And isn't there so many people who haven't gotten over themselves as yet? So I thought those were really cool insights. But how do you resolve this? And earlier in that day, when I was qualifying a couple of girls in Perth, and they might listen to this recording, so I'm not going to obviously name any names, but I didn't realize that I actually did a couple of the things to assist them in making their decision. And one of the things is, if when they say I can't afford it, or look, like this is like super valuable, I just don't know how to make this happen in my life. And I said, well, would you be open to brainstorming with me on how we can make it happen? Maybe we can meet halfway and come up with a suitable win-win outcome so that I can help you. So I'm not saying here I'm going to be reducing my price at all. But, and Lucy, who's on the call, you know what I mean, what I'm talking about here. I had a conversation with these ladies yesterday while I was around, flying back home, and we brainstormed. Can't afford, it's Lucy saying can't afford believing. Adding value, Christine is saying, and question mark. No, it wasn't about adding further value, because the value was already there. They could see the value. They said, oh my God, this will change my life. Writing a book would really change my life and help me get ahead. And it was only the fact that they couldn't work out how to make it fit their budget or where to find the money from. And all I said, and this is the key question, is that would you be open to brainstorming with me how you can come up with this and how we can make it happen? So then together we brainstorm. So what I'm saying is that sometimes you can bend your own rules if it creates a win-win outcome, so long as that everyone is clear on what the steps are and what the logistics are of the process. So last night, very late, I finally spoke to the second person, and we agreed, because they were friends and they wanted to come to the February retreat together, we agreed on something that was win-win-win-win-win. And that was really great. Another way you can, sometimes when people say I need to speak to my partner, you can also assist them in brainstorming how they can speak to their partner. And I'll just share one more thing there. So brainstorming with them, so being on their side on how they can make it happen. And the other thing, another key question that you shared that is very cool, is that asking the question, once you've presented what you've presented to the person, this is the question: what do you see as your benefits of you working with me? What do you see as your benefits of you working with me? Okay, so what then they're saying is they're actually recapping back the value to you. And this is where you will know if they see enough value by explaining what the benefits would be. So I trust that's been valuable, guys. I thought that was really cool. I read that on the plane, and I couldn't believe that actually some of the things that were being suggested in this that I had tried earlier. Do you think partners always need to be on board, or can you just go it alone? I certainly think a partner must know, and you want them to be on board because you live with them, or you work with them, whatever it is. So certainly you have to, but what you have to then do is you have to train your client how to sell your service to that partner, and that's where you can brainstorm different. Sometimes beliefs aren't aligned. Yes, sometimes beliefs are not aligned, but I don't believe in dishonesty with the partner, with your partner. Certainly you can still go ahead if they say no, because it's your decision and you're following your true path. But if you're together on this path together, they have to accept. And I think ultimately the key to any relationship is acceptance, rather than trying to change change each other. And not dishonest, just saying this is what I'm doing. Yep. And you could, not everything I do Stuart agrees with or thinks is the right thing, but he still accepts it. I think it's about acceptance. Do we need to have a budget for marketing? If not, so much health? And look, I didn't have a budget for marketing to begin with. but I certainly spend at least 10% of my income turnover on marketing nowadays. That would be different for everyone else, for people. So I'm not really good at marketing budgets, if I can say, like deciding what percentage of money should go back in. I just kind of do it, and if I'm getting enough traction, then obviously I continue doing that. What was the ebook? It was a guy called Bill Barron, guys, Bill space, surname Baren. And I'm just trying to see for you what it was called. Transforming Client Objections. How to confidently handle the top 5 reasons clients say no. So I'm sure, look him up, Google him, and you will be able to find out what. And those of you that are on Periscope, it looks like that. There you go. And I thought that was really cool, and I will continue using that brainstorming way, because all of us would be getting those objections. Colin says, always find people who are not in alignment with your offer or message. What have you found, Natasha? I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Do you always find people who are not in alignment with your offer or message? Well, there will be people who obviously are not a match, or it's not the right thing for them. They're not really committed to what the program is. But this is when someone actually has come and they're really keen to work with you. Like, say, for example, with my people, like I have a list after my author event for people to put their name down to qualify for my retreat. And Colin, you'll see this happen in Adelaide on Friday. And those people who really want to have a conversation are really, 80% would want to do this. And we just got to explore and get more clarity around what it is, and that I am willing to qualify them. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope I answered that question, because I don't think I understood it fully. All right, guys, so we're getting on to 9. We've passed 9:30. I got to go start getting ready for Sydney. Have I gained clients or found potential leads on LinkedIn? Yes, absolutely. I have gotten clients and leads on LinkedIn, and I continue to connect and start conversations and all of that sort of stuff. So yes, I do, but mostly Facebook is as it's my preferred platform. But I constantly start conversations on LinkedIn, and they have been eventuating quite a few authors. All right, so upcoming events, yay! So please ignore Adelaide there. I haven't changed this slide, obviously didn't have from last week. But the Ultimate 48-Hour Author Blueprint for Business Success is happening in Melbourne on Wednesday. Okay, so Robert Curry and I are doing the Scale Up Your Marketing, which is your bottom event here on the slides, this Wednesday morning in Doncaster from 9 to 1. And then Wednesday evening at the Busy Bird Publishing Studio in Montmorency is my special author one from 6:30 to 9:30. Now, Adelaide, you have that now on the 2nd of October, 3 till 7 p.m. And obviously Perth is done and dusted. Adelaide also has the one with Robert Curry, 9 to 1 on Friday, the 2nd of October. And Sydney has that one tomorrow, 9 to 1 in the Bat and Ball in Surrey Hills in the Bat and Ball Hotel function room. So I'm off to Sydney this afternoon on a 6:30 flight. I said to you last week that I would have the VIP marketing day full, but I didn't really focus on getting the last spot for that, because obviously I've been super busy traveling. So the VIP marketing day does still have that lonely one spot left where 9 people are locked in, and we're doing, and I actually on the plane did the whole PowerPoint. I did all of the slides. I did all of the handouts that I'm going to do. I did all of how people are going to do their calendar planning, because I'm getting everyone one of these calendars, and getting and going through all of their 2016. So if you are interested in that, please private message me. And Adira's on the call. Adira, am I going to see you on Friday in Adelaide? I hope I will get to see you. Anyway, send me a message. Awesome. So if you're interested in any of that, come along. Let's connect live. Always better to connect live. or ask me about the VIP marketing day. It's going to be an awesome, super awesome day. And I'm all ready for it. As I go on planes, I get more work done than normally. Anyway, guys, so have an awesome morning. Next Monday, we should be just normal and fresh from a weekend off. My tour of 10 events in 10 days will have finished, and I'll report back on what the results were and how it is. It's going really well. I am on track to achieve my goal, for those of you that know what I'm talking about. But I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.